Okay. Alright, we're going to try this, see how this works. Alright, let's see here. Okay. It is November the 3rd, just about 3 days away from the election. And I'm just going to give you all an update of who I really am and what I'm doing. Alright, starting off with, for example, who am I and why am I running? Alright, I'm just a middle class citizen, a veteran, a Navy veteran of 24 years, son of a World War II hero, my dad. He's a sub-vet of World War II. My mom passed away about 2 years ago, which I miss her. So I can give you a lot of stories about her. She's a strong-willed woman, so she's up there in heaven anyway. I work for UPS. That's not my only job. I've had several jobs in the past. Again, I've served in the Navy for 24 years. School board for 6 years in McCrory County. I tried to run for different positions, and I kind of failed, but at least I didn't give up. Why do I want to run? Well, let's put it this way. I just got fed up with all the junk that's going on in the political arena. So if I'm going to talk about it, I might as well act upon it. So here I am, running as an independent candidate for U.S. Congress. I want to make a difference not just for myself, but for others across the nation, starting with Louisville, Kentucky. My fellow Louisvillians, they're striving hard day in, day out, some working 2 to 3 jobs a week, trying to make ends meet. I have one young man from UPS who has 5 kids, and he needs that overtime to make the bills and do what's right for his family. I want to do the same thing. I know I'm the dark horse of the race, but I'm a person that can really give Congress a hard time. At the same time, I'm a person that can really focus on uniting the Congress because, give you a good example, at UPS we have all different nationalities. We're focused on one direction, and it's getting that product out the door. And plus at the same time, we're on the verge of second year meeting our safety goals, which is really a fantastic adventure. I've been on the CHSP committee, which is Comprehensive Health and Safety Process. I am the safety Bob, plus a wellness champion there. I volunteered. The reason I did that because I have concern for the wellness of my fellow employees. We are on the verge of having an opportunity to change Congress in a different direction. A good example of that would be, what I want to see is have the federal and state income tax wiped off the face of the planet and put with a consumption tax where it's across the board. The poor and the rich pay their fair share of taxes. Yes, I said the poor too, because they're U.S. citizens just like you and me. And they need to be part of that system too. They need to learn that if we're going to be a productive nation, then everybody needs to play their hands. And that's what we need to do. Now, how do we get the poor integrated into the middle class? I'm glad you asked that question. It's going to take the community. It's going to take us as middle class citizens to welcome into the fold. Show them on how and why we can bring them into the fold, and teach them the basic concepts of being on time, dressing well, having the communication skills, because some people don't have those communication skills. Some people don't have the writing skills to even fill out an application. We can go ahead and take our money and invest it into on-the-job training, invest it into your basic trade schools, not only for the kids, but for the adults too. Give them a chance to say, hey, you know, my tools are not as sharp, my woodshed is empty, and it's time for me to fill it with some other possibilities. Why can't we do that? Now we're giving somebody some tools to be successful. They go out there and say, I'll work for this guy, and learn the trade like they did in the 1960s, 70s, even the 80s. Right now, it's hard to get a job because a lot of kids don't understand the willingness to work. If you ask the seasoned citizens what it takes to really keep a job, they'll tell you. You gotta be determined. You gotta be focused. You gotta be ready to be on the job when they ask you to. Don't ask questions, just be there. You gotta be ready to produce and focus on that aspect. Those are the things I'm hoping to do. Is take the middle class and needy, integrate into the I'm sorry, let me try that again. Take the needy and the poor, integrate it into the middle class system. This is not a professional video. Just shows who I am and what I'm trying to present. That's all it is. Now, on the other aspects, what I want to do is give the middle class the opportunity to make the choices to help their family. This is why I think that my fair tax, which is not mine, it's been out there for a little while. I want to do a 22% across the board. The rich pay 22%, no matter if it's a piece of chewing gum or a brand new Lincoln Continental. It's up to them. Their choice to do so. The middle class pay 22%, but at the end of the year, they have a choice to get a rebate of 10%, which is their money, which goes to 4 different areas. 1, education. 2, retirement. 3, the healthcare system or healthcare. Give them a chance. 4, if they have the guts, the courage, and tenacity, go ahead and pay on the debt, which is really tough. Those 4 things right there gives that middle class citizen an opportunity to grow and prosper. How can they do that? Let's see, for example, healthcare. You have a guy who works there for 10 years, saves all that money up, puts it into a healthcare savings plan, and he still stays healthy, and he has $150,000, and all of a sudden he has a medical problem come up. And you go into the doctor and say, hey, what can you give me for my money? And he'd probably give him 40% discount right on the spot because he has the cash at hand. That is that person's choice. Why can't we do that? Or go across the state line and say, hey, I get a better discount in Georgia or in Tennessee. That's that person's choice. They have the money in hand, and then they go out there and buy that product and that service. Why not? Instead of Congress dictating everything, we should be enhancing the opportunities. We should be encouraging growth. We should be encouraging independence. We should be encouraging independence in our individuals, no matter who they are, no matter what color, race, or creed. Everyone is special. We're always in this little box saying, oh, woe is me, I'm nobody. That's where you and I can step up to the plate and say, you are somebody. And then the boys, man up. It's time to take over the rings and be adults. Women, same thing with the girls. Woman up. It's time for you ladies to stand up and say, I'm a real woman. I'm going to do what's right for my family. I'm going to stand up for what I believe is my godly value and principles. I'll be a mother when I have the opportunity. I choose it. My choice, my time. And men the same way. Guys think in the wrong direction and get themselves in trouble. They need to man up and say, I need to focus on what's best for me and what's best for my future and what's best for my family. That's what we need to do. Back to basics. The core values of life. The man, the woman, the mother, the father. We need to deal with that. Going on to government principles, we need to be more, and the old saying is, transparent. We need to focus on seeing if there's any duplication out there of different services that the federal government and the state government have in common. And if there's 2 services there, then we need to eliminate one of those and enhance the other one. That will save us millions of dollars. Another thing we need to look at is foreign aid. I think, in my opinion, and that's what this is, when a country that does not want to align with the United States, I'm talking about align as in friendship, you don't have to follow our principles down to the letter. But the point of the matter is that we need to have some common ground here. Being a friend to the United States, we want to help that country become as bright as a star outside in the sky, as independent, self-efficient, developing their own concepts, developing their own relationships with their people, treating each other equal. That's what we want to do. Now, if they don't want to do that, then I believe that we should not give one penny to that foreign aid to that country, no matter who they are. Not one penny. Another thing, too, is that we need to vote on every country, up and down, no matter who they are, one country at a time, finding out their aspects, which is two. If they're pro-American, and they're pro-liberty, which means in that country treating everybody equal. If they're not, then not one penny should go there. Just my concepts and my opinion. That's all that is. To me, we not only save millions and billions of dollars, but we're connecting with the real world. We're making a connection because we're all connected to each other. One way or another, we are connected. And that's what people don't realize. We're not isolationists. We shouldn't be an isolationist as a country. We should be a country strong economically, strong militarily, strong with a soul, with a value, with a heart for individuality and individual responsibilities and individual prosperity. And that's why that's why the founding fathers focused on that. All our blessings come from the Creator. We need to focus on that. Last thing, why should you really vote for me? All right, let's look at the choices we have here. You have John Yarmouth, who's been there for 6 years. He can really speak well. I give him that much. He's dedicated to his cause, which means focusing on what President Obama wants to do. My opinion again, I believe that President Obama wants to lower our nation down to a third-rate country so we can be even across the board. See, to me, that should be the opposite. We should be the beacon of liberty, showing everybody else, not because we're best and we're the brightest, but we can do something that strengthens this whole world. Why not raise our values? Raise the stock when it comes to consciousness of our own identity. There's nothing wrong with being Americans. There's nothing wrong with being Frenchmen or Italian or Russians. It's okay. The key point is this, is that we want individuals to understand the concept of liberty is not just for a group, but it breaks it down to the basic concepts of blessings. You and I are a blessing. We can be a blessing to somebody else. But we need to start working in our backyard. Once we get this nation strong, it's like strands coming together and binding as one. Then we'll have the opportunity to strengthen other countries and seeing they reach their destinies. Now, Mr. Brooks, he's a good guy. He knows his statistics. He knows what he wants to do, but he runs around the political tree. He says he wants lower taxes. He wants to see businesses grow and prosper, but you cannot pinpoint him on how can you do this, Mr. Brooks. What are you really going to do? Show me the direction from A to B, B to C, C to D, and he cannot do that. He's like a traditional moderate Republican. He's afraid if he puts it down my line that he's going to get attacked. I don't care if I get attacked because all it does is strengthens my stance. If they want to ask questions, so be it. Help yourself. Knock me down because all I do is brush myself off, get back up, and try again. So, the real question is, who do you want you to represent this district as Louisvillians? That's up to you. I'm here. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to win. I do it every day. Go to work. And we're successful in reaching our endeavors. I have the heart, the mind, the soul to do what's right. I'm not there to get rich. I want to do 6 years, get everything focused on the right direction, make sure we start paying on our debt, Make sure the kids get the right treatment, the successful tools they need to get. And the same thing with small businesses and smaller let me try this again. Smaller tax base, less regulation, and more prosperity for each and everybody. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to do what's right. Thank you. Now I'm going to turn this around. Cool?